everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. How is the location in your area? How are you mentally navigating your life? I hope at the end of the day you hang by this thread and you're like, tomorrow is going to be better. I don't mean to be a motivational speaker because what I'm about to talk about is a very real life issue, okay? So what I do, right, is that when I have time, I just do a lot of recording. So just in case you see some videos where I'm wearing the same thing, I practically just did one recording now, like sharp. But I'm getting inspired, so I just thought to just do a lot of them. I was even deciding on which one to do, but I was like, you know what? This one is a quick one. I think I should talk about it, okay? So can we talk about how you're living your normal life, okay? Sometimes you can go like a whole day and you've not had water, you've not had food, and you're perfectly fine until maybe like later in the day, like, shit, I have not had anything at all today. And then you have to look around. Like, it has happened. Everybody literally have their own experience. But the moment you say from so time to so time, I'm gonna give it to the Lord, I'm not gonna have whatever it is that you've decided, you know, that is when all the energy in your body will be going. And then sometimes you have to think about food, or you're always thinking about food, or you're always hungry, and then you're wondering, but though I thought I said, you know. So the whole thing, I was thinking about it recently. I'm literally going to share my experience, and I was like, at the end of the day, it just really shows you how merciful God is and how much He went through for us just so we can have salvation, you know, be close to Him and enjoy His presence and enjoy all the benefits that God has to give us. So over the years, once again, I'm Catholic, and this is Lenten period. Lenten period is for 40 days. We do not count Sundays as part of the Lenten days. Yeah, so you have 6 Sundays in Lent. I think, yeah, it's 6 Sundays. So aside Sundays, we fast for 40 days, and it's a moment of recollection, retreating to yourself, you know, trying all your best to you know, just get closer to God, give up some things. Giving up some things is more like, in Catholic we'll say, those things that take your time, you know, that distract you from prayers and talking to God, having a quiet moment to God, is a period where you try to cut them down and just spend as much time as you can with the Lord. And one thing with Catholics is that you're not imposed that from so time to so time you should not eat or you should not drink water. No, it's at your discretion. It should be something that you have decided by yourself, not somebody imposing something on you. So I know a priest, although this time around he's active on social media, but I know a priest for like 2 years that I observed, that I've actually followed him online. Every Lent he will go off social media, Facebook, Instagram. I don't know if he's on Twitter, but these 2 apps, you won't see him until Easter Sunday, when he will eventually post. And it was always intriguing, you know. Well, he wouldn't share with us if he like abstained from any other thing or what the kind of things he gave up, but I noticed that with him, and it was really amazing. So I feel like maybe he spent so much time on social media, and then that was why he made that decision, because remember, it's supposed to be something that takes majority of your time. Yes, so for individual it differs, obviously. So over the years, I've chosen a particular time to do my own fast, and it used to be 6 a.m. to 12 noon. I will break my fast after I've said my Angelus and I've said a short prayer. Sometimes I would delay to eat by 12:30, but I was okay with that. I think my body system really accepted that, and I was happy, but then this year I wanted to do something different, and I was like, okay, let's break by 3, because that 3 there's also a prayer. It's called Divine Mercy Prayer. Now that was how the whole thing happened. Now let me draw you back to last year. Last year Lent, right? When it started, I was okay with the 12 noon thing. But I started having heartburn issues. My stomach would hurt a lot. I was bloated all the time, and I couldn't just understand why I felt like that. I should be, it's a when you're fasting, it shouldn't be on your face and all that. I think nobody actually even knew I was. I was just going normally, but then I would complain, oh, I'm having pains here, I'm having pains here. And it resulted to me doing the blood work, and the result came out that I was positive for H. pylori. H. pylori is ulcer. I'm not sure which particular one. I'm not a medical thing, but the H. pylori test came out positive, and that's how I had to stop eat. Like, I had to fast from something else other than food. And then yes, in Catholic Church you don't fast only from food. We're not just food-based fasters or observances for Lent. You have a whole lot of things. Like I said, it's individual. Some people choose not to eat certain things. Generally, you're advised to not eat meat on Wednesdays and Fridays. Fridays, because that is a Good Friday, that's the day Jesus Christ died on the cross. So you're giving up that, because meat is meat. It has flesh, flesh of God is meat, blood. So I had to stop fasting from food because I was on medication for 14 days, and that's one of the most intriguing 14 days of my life. 14 days of my life, because I have had this ulcer scare before, but I didn't tell my dad, and that was in undergrad. But this time around I told my dad, and the first thing is like, what is causing ulcer? Are you not eating? So normally I'm not big, I'm a petite woman. So it's assumed that I do not eat a lot, but I eat well, okay. But I have a small stomach, so it's assumed that I do not eat well, like kind of thing, but I do. So when something like that happens, it's like, you're not eating well, kind of thing. I told my dad I don't know, and as I was answering, I didn't stay there so that something doesn't communicate, and then we start talking about how I'm not eating, that kind of thing. Anyways, but I thought him was on medication. So for those 14 days, I was so judicious with my medication. I never missed when I was supposed to take any of the doses. I kept on taking water. I was feeding very well. I just wanted the whole thing. And all those while when I was taking my medication, I was literally praying to God. I was like, God, I've heard what like ulcer has done to people. I don't know what to relate. And I know I went into reading so much about ulcer that I even came across one medication, because all the articles I read said ulcer cannot be cured. Now once you have it, you have it. Me, I said it's a lie. I'm not going to have ulcer forever. So I even came across one medication, so like it has a lot of people have success stories about it. And then I checked how much it was sold for. I can't remember exactly how much it was sold for, but I remember having an agreement deep down to start saving so that I can get the first one. That was how serious I was in wanting to be better, and I promised myself I was going to be eating. So due to that, I fasted from other things that I would not share. So this year again, I don't have any ulcer, and after I stopped that medication, like after I finished after I finished that medication, I was actually okay. I was fine. So so this year I was like, okay, let's do this again. I was really intentional. I have a lot of things that I really want to communicate to God about, and then I was like, fasting from food wouldn't be a bad idea also, and then I was okay for a few days. Well, a few more days later, I started feeling lightheaded, started feeling fainty. I wasn't myself. I will only get better when I take a bottle of Sprite. Now, you remember the analogy I was giving at the start of this video where I said it is when you have made up your mind to give up something or to prepare for something that a lot of things start to happen. Yes, my sisters and my brothers. For this Lent this year, I wanted to give up carbonated drinks. I just wanted to continue with my pineapple juice and just be enjoying myself. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But when I started feeling like that and then having a history of once I take Sprite I will feel better, I broke that. I started taking Sprite. At some point, I convinced myself I was taking oral drip. I wasn't taking carbonated drink, but it's carbonated drink. And I got really worried because, yes, I'm always stressed. I mean, my day starts with mass, breakfast, cooking breakfast, eventually taking a stroll where I'm supposed to pick up birth certificates, all those walking around and everything on empty stomach. Yes, obviously was going to have consequences, right? So yes, this was me facing my own consequences at that point, and it was painful. It wasn't okay, and I just wanted to be better because I honestly don't want to be sick. I don't want to be down because I have a lot on my table, and being sick, there's so many things I can't do if I'm sick, so I didn't want to be sick at all. So I broke that Sprite thing. I had to start taking Sprite, and it got to a point where I had to do blood work. At first, the whole reading was wrong, but then it came back, and then my PCB was okay. My blood sugar was okay because I was suspecting my blood sugar was low, but apparently my blood sugar was okay. So it turned out that it's accumulated stress still. I feel like I have a huge log of accumulated stress that I really, really, really need to take off my shoulders because I'm doing a lot manually and it's not helping me. I mean, moving up and down on foot to the office, like the whole thing. Yes, I know it's close by, but it's even when it's close by, whether it's far or not, as long as you can track it, you have consequences about it, and then doing it on an empty stomach. So I was really concerned. So again, I I had to cut down. So days that I do not feel like I'm feeling like headache or something, I try not to eat. But then I brought down the hours to the same 12, and yeah. So what happens is that any day that I have to eat like in the morning or something, that means I have already gotten a sign that, see, this headache is coming. Like today at mass, my head was paining me so bad, like this left side, and I didn't understand what was going on. So I ate, and then I didn't eat again for like 5 hours later or 6 hours because I got really busy and food was like the last thing on my mind. So what happens is that naturally I wouldn't be on social media till like in the evening. And what I do is that I purposely do not buy data, like a huge amount of data, and that explains why I haven't really been posting like handwritten things on my blog, because I try to stay off social media until I get home, and then I can check on all my, like I posted yesterday, I can check on my stats and everything if I have comments or whatever it is. So that are so many other things that I fasted from, and it just really got me to this point of saying, when you make up your mind to do something, the challenges that come, usually you do not prepare for them, but when they eventually come and you take a time to think about it, you know that nothing comes easy, and that you have to literally keep working. If you're a Catholic and you're really into the Station of the Cross when it's going on, and you're trying to feel all the things that God felt, you will agree with me that the first fall, second fall, and the third fall, these falls actually mean a lot to me. It's very easy to say, yeah, when you fall, you get up, you continue, blah blah blah. It's a very nice lip say, but the core thing is deep. It's deeper than deep. because God fell for the first time carrying his cross. Let's not forget that the cross was really heavy. He fell the first time, he stood up, he staggered up. He fell the second time, although he got help. He kept moving, and then he fell again. All this while, he wasn't eating, he wasn't drinking water, he was just going on empty stomach, dragging his cross, and all this while he was praying to God to even forgive his persecutors and everything. And those falls really, it really it really means a lot to me. So and then on Catholic's Hub on Clubhouse, we have this I think it's on Saturday, where you come in and then you share how far your Lenten observances have been going for you, or how Lent generally this year has been for you. I find that space very encouraging and very motivating, because everyone is literally vulnerable, sharing how it's doing them in their own location, and it just really makes me happy when I hear people say, oh wow, I'm really learning. Like, so people just basically commit to gain strength and get more inspired to at least do something, something that means so much to them during this particular time. And when I sum this whole thing up, it just gives me that tap on the shoulder. It's like, when you want something good, sometimes you have to grind hard, and it's really not easy, but it's that consistency that gets us there. And then, because we have fallen so many times, doesn't mean we cannot stand up and pick our crosses and keep going. I mean, for you to be able to have a busy week and eventually give a testimony of how you ended the week, and you're fine and you're moving on to something else. You fell so many times, but you carried your cross. Right now, I have a minute to finish. I'm yet to finish that, but I know I'm going to finish and then get past that. I'm going to go for the meeting and get new minutes to prepare for, and life goes on. So because we have fallen so many times doesn't mean that we can't get back up. Like I said, it's easier to say, but the work is something. Just like someone is in a relationship and along the line there's a break off or a divorce or friendship that ended or something, moving on is usually not easy, but at some point you have to pick yourself up and work and keep moving, because life is for the living. Okay, so for everyone that is doing their own Lenten observances, anyone that is finding it or have found it difficult to keep to whatever it is that they decided to give up, if you're listening to me or you are watching me, this is an encouragement to you that you're not doing anything wrong. You're a human being, and all the experiences that you are currently experiencing are normal, and you shouldn't beat yourself. Okay, and you cannot be perfect, but just count on the ones that you have been able to do, that that you feel very happy about, and then that those ones that you faltered or you didn't accomplish or something, there's still room for you to make peace with that and move along. And it's just really intriguing how when you want to start something that you have challenges, but the challenges toughens you up, like these Lenten ones. It gives you the anyways, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope I've been able to. I forgot I was recording. I got a call and I stopped this, and this one is still going, so I had to do serious editing here. But anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe on either on podcast, on YouTube. If you like the content, please do well to like, subscribe, and keep the notification bell on so that you know when I post something new. Okay, all right, so until my next episode, I'll see you guys later. Cheers.